Why does this Windows thing come up accidentally in the bottom right that shows you the temperature and then news you don't care about ever? Get out of here, NASDAQ.
Oh, good. The stocks
How do you
are
get rid of this thing? I know.
plus 260. I tell ya.
Yeah.
Finance.
Buy, sell. Let's go.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me?
Dab,
Yes,
dab, dab,
this
dab,
is
dab,
how
dab,
it's
dab.
meant to be. Every little
Man.
thing flashing on a screen.
It's getting me going.
Getting his workout in.
Yeah, that is my workout. This is technically my workout. I was doing some dabs there.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days we should just play that whole song all the way through. Maybe at the end we can do it. I really want people to hear the whole program.
The Fair City Fire experience is one to be reckoned
Yeah.
with. I've experienced it live twice. 2 different cities.
That's true. Man, I am a tired boy.
Me too, man. I am beat.
Hell yeah. Saturday morning old guys.
Like,
Let's
I
go.
am exhausted. I have been up for like 4 hours already, and I am tired.
I have too, and I didn't mean to be. I basically work 1:30 to 10 is my shift, 5 days a week. I honestly don't like. Last night I didn't go to bed till like 2. I meant to go to bed earlier, but that's just my wind down after I get home.
Yeah,
I
100%.
eat late, watch movies, play games, whatever. And I set my alarm for 10, because here we are, 11 a.m. Saturday morning, on schedule, and I woke up at 7.
Just
I don't know why I couldn't go back to sleep. Laid in bed, not sleeping, just half sleeping. How do you do? What do you do? What's your strat? Give me an old man strat. What's something you use in your life?
I'm bad at
to regain.
I am actually really bad at it. I talk a great game of how I'm going to change my sleep habits, and like I'm not going to have my phone in my room, or I'm going to put it so out of reach and just nom, 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 nom. And then like the vortexes of just nonsense, bullshit, social media, Facebook, videos, but yeah, I do try to do some other stuff if I'm in like reading like that's like kind of the one time that I will sit down and read sometimes. If I have a book that I want to read, I'll be honest with you, the book I'm currently reading, a friend got me. I'm on like chapter 10 or 11, and that's probably been where I've been for about the last 7 weeks or so. So it's a slow burn.
You ever just like read the same page for like 20 minutes? 100%. Just get really into it.
Like the best is I'll read and get like 3 pages before I realize I'm like, I've been flipping pages and reading words, but I've no. If you tested me on anything remotely about these last 3 pages, I can't tell you anything about it.
Comprehension.
Yep. It's amazing that like your brain allows you to like your brain pump fakes you and goes like, yeah, we're reading, we're having a good time retaining stuff. I'm just kidding. We know nothing about what we're doing right now. And like, I don't understand how you can read and not retain. Like, it's actually a pretty amazing concept, and be cognizant that you're not retaining what you just read.
Yeah, that's like ultimate reading comprehension, almost going full circle around the whole other way. Like I've definitely, like, there's a writer I like. The show is really good on HBO. It's not my rec. It could be. I mean, it might as well be. But Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. And it's sort of like this. It was meant to be. It was written before COVID, but essentially, the plot is an influenza has taken over the world and wiped everybody out, almost everybody within days.
Awkward.
And then it follows a traveling symphony and play actors around like Michigan.
This is a show.
Her writing is so good that I would read the words and then forget what the story is, because I'm just like reading the prose and like how she writes, and I'm like, this is so written so well, or the description is, or the way she is narrating this person's, like the way they're reading the play or looking at this book or something like that is written so well that I'm not actually like absorbing, comprehending the
full story,
the plot along the way, and I have to go back and be like, wait, what just happened here? Who's that? Yeah, like, so there's like maybe you could be like, I'm such a good writer that like you don't even get it.
You're like, oh crap! Oh crap! That's actually a thing. Like I thought people were just saying that to be pretentious. That's like, you know what? Like I read simple stuff. Like I think I had mentioned, I read like autobiographies and stuff because that stuff is simple. It's not trying to be exotic. It's just someone telling their story. So like I like that, and I think maybe it's because it's an easy comprehension. You can go, and if you kind of drift off in the middle of it, you don't really lose value in it. So I bet I don't get 100% of what they're trying to relay, but it's an easy book to follow. But like my brother has read like Game of Thrones, and just I watch Game of Thrones with the captions on because I want to, with especially with like the accents, I want to understand when I'm hearing people's names, places, because I'll retain it better so that when they're brought up later on, I can recall it better because I'm reading what they're saying. And when he tells me like, oh yeah, well in this, you know, I think is like, sorry for anyone that's not a Game of Thrones nerd, but I have to give an example. Like Prince Oberyn has like his 3 daughters in the show, the Sand Snakes, I think they're called. But he has 3 daughters, and in the book, my brother's like, "Oh, in the book he has 12 daughters," and you learn about all of them and stuff. And I'm like, how do you comprehend all of these people and places and separate journeys and stories? I'm like, I can't read that book. That's stressing me out thinking about reading that book.
So I've watched. Well, here's a moment. Here's a moment of regaining our friendship. So we obviously didn't watch Game of Thrones
Did
together.
not.
I basically binged the whole series like right before the show finale.
Okay.
So whenever that was, like 2019. So in a way, I wasn't. I know a lot of people are like really bummed out about the ending or the build, and to me, I didn't catch that because I wasn't there for the years.
I didn't have a build.
I just binged it all, and I was
There's
like,
no build.
pretty good. I don't know. I kind of like the whole thing. I don't know, but I also like realize now, like I think I need to rewatch it. It's kind of like the reading comprehension. Like I was just blasting through the show.
Yeah.
Now it's like I mean, I remember the peak characters, like the the most common,
Sure.
Jon Snows of the world, and all that. But now I forgot, like, what's the name? Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian,
Yeah, that's Oberyn.
and Last of Us. He was in the show, and I was like, I don't even remember that. I remember like the Red Wedding, and I remember the big plot points. But I'm like, do I have to go back and rewatch this?
You'd probably appreciate it.
Do I? Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I recommend it to people just for the state. There's a lot of like, if nothing else, there's stakes in the show for sure. It's like you can lose somebody, and it's it is challenging in a way. But yeah, I couldn't fucking read that. You ever tried to read the Lord of the Rings books? I mean, like Fellowship of the Ring. All that.
I read The Hobbit. I started Fellowship, and I bailed. I bailed real quick, and this is when I was in my 20s. Yeah. I'm like, I nope, I can't do it. And he's read those, and what's the Silmarillion?
Yeah, the Semilarian or whatever.
Salmonella, the Salmonella book.
Yeah, Salmonella effect.
But yeah, I can't. I mean, awesome that people like really enjoy them and that they're phenomenal, but Harry Potter's over my head as far as books go. So yeah, I just stick to my autobiographies. I'm content with that. So if your rec is ever a book that's not an autobiography, respectfully decline.
I am halfway through in that vein, halfway through Dune. I'm perpetually like working my way through it, like chipping away at it. And it's good. I like it, but it's like 900 pages. And like the first 200 pages are all, it's like a vocabulary test. It's like, because it's just a made up world with made up things. And all it is like, wait, what is that? I forgot to write this down. I forgot to take notes about what this race of people is, or what this spice is, or like what this made up technology is.
Now, is that due to amazing writing, or are you a writer that's just crazy enough and has like the time to just dick around and make stuff up? What do you like? I
feel like that's a lot of mid 20th century stuff, right? Maybe like Tolkien.
Yeah.
And
that movie was really
Dune,
good.
like
totally didn't get any play in like the real world. The Tolkien movie.
Dune movie?
No, the Tolkien movie.
I haven't watched it because I'm which?
The Tolkien movie. The movie about Tolkien.
Whoa. You're blowing my mind.
Yeah. The kid who who's the kid who played Beast in First Class? That guy. If you said his name, I'd probably know it, but he plays J.R.R. Tolkien. And it's a...
Now remind me what First Class is.
X-Men First Class?
Wait, dude? Is this Saved by the Bell? First Class?
What the fuck? You haven't seen X-Men First Class?
Oh,
X-Men
First
First
Class.
Class.
Ah, jeez, fuck.
I
I
let
might
me
not
internet
have.
them.
But there's a Token movie.
Yes. The kid.
What do we like
Nicholas
about Token?
Holt. Nicholas Holt.
All right.
Is the actor.
How does it comp to the Mr. Rogers movies?
What are you talking about?
You don't know the Mr. Rogers movies?
I
What's the comparable? Is it just as good? Is it heartwarming?
I didn't watch.
Does it pull at your heartstrings?
It's not. It's not. It's more like dramatic and like it's primarily centers around like his college years and stuff. But it's really interesting if it's accurate.
Let me guess, he didn't get laid a lot and loves orbs.
Waka waka. There was a love story amidst it. But I would suggest it. But yes, I did see Dune. To reply to your first assumption as to what I was talking about, yes, I did see the movie Dune, and I enjoyed it.
Really? I'm convincing myself that I'm going to finish the book first.
Oh, that's cute.
Before I watch
that's cool.
the movie.
So you're never going to see the movie? Yeah. That's a shame.
I just
see
got
how the story ends.
Yeah. All right, so we're never going to have any help sleeping, huh? It's just the way it is now.
Yeah, man. Nope. We're just destined to be tired forever.
Getting old.
No beds are comfortable. Your brain is going to wake you up regardless, whether you're having a good dream or a nightmare or anything. It doesn't matter. You're just destined to be tired forever. So.
Ooh, here's something I would like to know. I believe I remember from the basement days. You might have been a top tier snorer.
Oh,
at one point in your life. Are you still?
100%. I used to be a top tier snorer. It got way worse in college. Listen, let's be honest. There was probably a direct correlation with my severe binge drinking coupled with being drastically overweight. That probably led to a lot of solid snoring.
I don't get it.
But no, I actually don't nearly as much. I mean, I'll have a bad night here and there, but as far as I'm aware, I stopped aggressively snoring on the regular. I don't sleep any different, but there were times where I would be like in that like half awake sleep and I could hear myself snoring, but I was still sleeping.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, that somehow changed, probably again with getting a little bit more put together, hopefully. But yeah, I was. That's the truth. I have been told by many of people that I was a violent snorer. And I've always told people, because this is, as snorers, we have this civic duty to tell anyone, fucking wake me up then. Like, tell me, like, throw books at me, like, push me, yell at me. Like, I don't care. I get it. That sucks. Like, I give people a free pass. I'm like, wake me the fuck up then. Because that does suck. And I am sorry for what my sleeping body does.
Yeah, I've been told the same. Like, it's weird. I've never woken myself up from snoring, but I've been told, like, I talk in my sleep, or like, I think I basically have all of these symptoms of sleepwalking without the standing up. But I'll interact. Like, I'll just do it laying down, whatever. I'll talk. I'll say full things. I'll snore. And again, punch me in the face.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Yeah.
When people tell you what you're doing, you're like, that sounds awful. Like, please stop me.
Then I found out it's like, I couldn't even tell what you were saying. It was really loud though. And I was like, oh, that was just me grinding my teeth. It's terrible. Yeah. So this is what I do now. I wear a mouth guard.
Yeah.
On my lower teeth, which are fantastic, by the way. You're going to want to check out the video for this. Believe it or not, I had braces as a kid. Never got a retainer. Never. I don't know why they never gave me a retainer. But my teeth on the bottom are all crowded again. I'm like, maybe I'll get that Invisalign. But now I have a mold, just like a night guard that I wear on the bottom. Because if I don't, like, let's be honest. You could probably guess this about me. Not a big doctor visitor or dentist visitor.
Mhm.
I mean, I go to the eye doctor because I like to see a little bit, but I'll wait till I'm on my last pair of contacts.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
100%.
yeah. So finally, I went to the dentist a couple years ago. It probably had been like 7 years
Mhm.
since I had been to the dentist for no reason. I mean, it wasn't like I'm really worried what they're gonna find, but I was like,
Just infinite in
maybe I thought
schedule.
I was gonna lump in some flossing sessions that was gonna make it better or something
Mhm.
like that, and I just wanted to wait
Mhm.
for that. I say, hey, do you floss a lot? Oh yeah, every day for the past week. Yeah, really
Dude,
diligently.
I'm on a hot streak. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I went in and they were like, "Do you grind your teeth at night?" And I was like, you tell me."
I was just gonna say,
And
I'm
yeah,
like, you. What are we doing here?
I rely on you. You tell
Right.
me these things. Same dentist here. 2 stories. So yeah, well, she shows me the pictures. I was like, that's terrifying. Yeah, I definitely grind my teeth. So now I'm on the night guard
Okay.
thing because I grind my teeth and it's loud. And I started to realize I would like, if I don't wear it, I get headaches. I don't know why I have headaches. And it's like, oh yeah,
Oh, because I grind my
violently
teeth.
grinding my teeth at night. But they also gave me, so I've been in there a while, like, the gums weren't super healthy. So they gave me this mouthwash to use. It said like use twice a day. I was like, I will. I'm into this now. I'm into dental health. I use it. Probably about 4 or 5 months later. I didn't even know it came on slowly, but all of a sudden I had like brown stains like on my teeth, like in between, like along the gum
Okay.
lines. It looked bad.
Okay.
And I went back and I was like, yeah, everything's okay, but like I don't know what's like my teeth are stained. I don't
Visually,
know what's
things
going
are
on. Is it
going
the
awry.
mouthwash? Yeah, I don't know what's going
Uh-huh.
on. Like, well, have you stopped using that mouthwash after 2 weeks, right? And I was like, no, nobody said that. On the bottle, it said use 2 times daily.
The end.
And on the bottle it said I'd use until done. And she was like, oh my god, no, because it was like I guess it was like antibacterial, and I guess if you have too many antibiotics or something like that, it stains your teeth. So I had like
What?
just my buddy Brett was like, dude, I should have asked you. He's like, I thought you would just start like chewing
I
tobacco
was just
or
gonna
something
say,
like
just
that. I was like,
started.
why wouldn't you
started
say that?
dipping.
I know. He's like, I don't know. It's like I thought you were stressed out or something like that. It's like, you thought I was like dipping and didn't say anything about it. It was that stained my teeth, and they had to. She was like, oh my god, I have to go here. I have to go see the doctor. And they came in, and she was like, we're gonna talk about this at our meeting. I'm like a case study now on this
Yes.
like mouthwash. They had to like fully whiten my teeth, like use a process to like
Really?
grind it down and like just I was like, oh, I'll take the free whitening, but at this cost, I don't know. It's pretty brutal. You know what? Never again, dentist.
Yeah.
Never
I
again.
gave you guys the
Not for
shot
me.
at glorious redemption, so that
Yeah.
I could preach your profession by the heavens
Yeah,
and to
your
everyone.
dental wares.
Yep. And you wronged me.
Yeah.
You validated me.
So, needless to say, I've still not found a dentist in Auburn.
Okay.
Not that I'm searching. But I'm like, I probably need. I bite so gnarly on this. Like, I got to get the hardest version of the
bite guard.
the night guard.
Oh yeah. Did you go through like smaller
And,
ones where you destroyed them?
They didn't even give me that. They're like, you grind hard, we can tell. I was like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's from years on the dance floor.
Yeah.
I tend to grind hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of getting older, we need to segue. I'll clip that and I'll make it a soundbite next time. Since our
Nailed
segues
it,
are so
dude. That was our 400th try. Like that was our best take.
Goes the dynamite.
Yeah, what people don't know, speaking of books, is this pod is an audiobook. It's all scripted.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. We write it down all week.
Yeah.
And
we're actors.
Acting, you
guys.
Yeah.
We actually don't know each
reading.
other. We are telling the story. We're Milli Vanilliing this entire experience from two guys, actually one guy that's writing about what he thought it would be like to have this experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're not comprehending any of it, but we're reading it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these words. I thought about it. So these were our conversation dice last week that we rolled, the random 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
Elder, first time, and future. I don't know. Did you catch anything? Any quick thoughts?
I was thinking about it because like Elder's really tough. I mean, it's tough because putting first time in future is pretty
Yeah.
not oxymoronic, but trying to think of what the concept is before future and first time. So that just sounds like you're planning to do something and then elder. But I mean, yeah, man, it's it's tough. I was going to talk about, in the future, like this summer, I'm planning to go to Colorado, and I've never really gone um, out that way, so I'm pretty excited about that. But what's that have to do with
What's in Colorado?
Elder? The Rockies. Sorry, I should
Oh,
specify.
wait, are you doing like a baseball
Yeah,
stadium tour?
yeah,
No way.
yeah. I'm doing.
Dude, you should be in a MasterCard
I
commercial.
am. I am trying to see all the Major League Baseball stadiums. I think I'm on 15. It would be 16 if you count both Yankee stadiums. Um, but yeah, going to see the Yankees in Colorado with a couple friends from
Mile
college.
high.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. That'll be a pretty cool experience, but I have no idea I mean, I'll be the oldest person on that trip if that counts me as being elder. Um, but yeah, man.
Wait, why? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean?
Why would we be the oldest person on the trip?
Because I
Like,
was
what?
born
Who's going?
first. I'm there's four guys from college, all fraternity brothers, but all baseball fans, all Yankee fans, and so a couple of them have been on other trips to some of the other parks with me. But this has been really a goal of mine as an individual. I've gone with different people to different parks, but it's not like a group centric thing. I'm just going to the parks. I've gone on like work trips. I've gone on day trips places. I'm out of range for driving. So now everywhere has to be a flight. I think the closest to me technically would either be Atlanta or St. Louis right now. Those are the closest stadiums I haven't been to geographically from New Jersey. So I've been basically up and down the East Coast, but I've not completed a division yet. But in April, I am driving down to Florida and will be seeing a Rays game, and that will complete the AL East for me.
Dude, yeah, what a fun. It's like a fun little hot. It's better than collecting state quarters. I would say that. You remember that was a
That
thing?
was a thing. Like,
Man.
what kid didn't have a book of state quarters?
When did that start? In the year 2000? I don't even
Something
remember.
like
Like
that.
right around then,
But
late
like
90s?
we also had like my brothers and I don't even know where they came from. Maybe my Uncle Mike or my grandpa. But we had like coin books of like pennies and also nickels. Remember like the rage over Buffalo nickels? Oh man, if you found a Buffalo nickel, you're like, dude, this
Yeah, I
is
have
worth
one.
like
I have one.
5.001 cents.
Yeah.
It's got like
I
more
have one from
nickel
like
than nickely
1922.
nickels. So
Well, I remember everybody thought that, like, if you collect every state and you put it in this thing that folds, it's going to be worth so much. Now it's worth whatever 50 times 25 cents is, like
yeah,
12.50. It's worth the
but
exact amount.
actually, you
Yeah.
also paid for the book, so you actually are down.
Yeah, so you're down. Yeah.
You're in the red.
That was before eBay, before everything became ubiquitous, like baseball cards. It's like, shoot, I got this baseball card from downtown and nobody else has it. They don't know. And you go on eBay now and it's like, oh, 10,000 people are selling this, what used to be $50 card for $1.99.
Yeah, man. And COVID,
What an
I
investment.
have a couple of friends, locals, some Auburnian friends that got into the card game or have been into the card game.
I think it's coming back.
It did because COVID made it spike ridiculously because people started focusing on, they had all that extra time to see the bullshit in their closet.
Yeah,
No,
things they like.
yeah, I think that's what it was. And like everyone stopped and goes like, well, okay, what's going on with cards? Took that up as a hobby because you didn't need to do anything or be anywhere or go anywhere. You had reading material. So like people rekindled their love for it from their childhoods and stuff like that and just had cards laying around, and values have gone insane. And now you can't even like get playing cards. It's still like, it hasn't come back down really. So it's wild, man.
Yeah, I know. I kind of want to get in. I mean, I was always a hockey card guy because I played hockey. But I think what card companies do now, which is great, is they just make rare cards
on purpose.
It's not like 1,000 of the same card. Right. They like, oh, here's a piece of Connor McDavid's jersey on the
Yeah.
card
Why?
now. So yeah, because it's worth more. I don't think I ever told you this. I mean, I've never been a big. I mean, live baseball, I think, is probably one of the best live sports to watch. Number
Yeah,
one, way better than TV.
it'll be interesting. Well, the thing with baseball too is that the parks are very different. Unlike the other three sports, a baseball park is not
Okay.
like it's not like stamped. Like it's not like it's
They've got personality.
exactly
Yeah.
the park itself, even the dimensions of the field. Where obviously any other sport, I mean, football tried having, some people have like a random triangle off to the side. It just doesn't work in football. But yeah, baseball. We'll see what the pitch clock does, though. It's going to speed up the game, and it's going to make people get their fucking faces out of their phones, including myself.
Probably one of the, I guess it would be memorable sports experiences I had. I didn't intend to have, but I went to a University of Texas baseball game in 2009.
Sure.
So I was with my girlfriend at the time, who I moved to Texas for. She was in her graduate program. I was working at UT, so I don't even know. We might have got in for free, but it was in college baseball is weird. They have like these regionals or super regionals. There's so many teams that they like move these playoffs all around. So it's a playoff game. We go.
Super regional is a terrible term, by the way. That just angers me.
What?
Super regional.
We got to come up with something else. Super.
Right. I don't know. Like it's not. It's like it stopped being geographical. Like it was like, oh, this is regional. What's this? Super regional. The hell does that mean? It's like it sure does.
So it's UT. I wasn't even following the team all year, but it was UT versus Boston College.
Okay.
And we walked to the game. We live near campus. We were pretty stoned, and like we had like a couple like lime. I don't even know. We had some booze. We were like, oh, this is gonna be great. By the 7th inning, we're gonna be like, we should even leave. Let's go. Like the buzz will be wearing off. Like it'll be a fun little day, fun little something different. Just hey, something different with the missus. Try something new. We do things. We do activities. We're cool. We're hip. So the 7th inning, we're like, should we go? Like I don't even know. Like it was a tie game. It was like 2-2. Like maybe we should go out and like, do they sell beer here? I don't even know. Is it even legal NCAA? It's like, just let's keep it going. Let's stay for the rest of the game. Okay. It turns out by inning 25, we had been at the longest NCAA college baseball game ever. It's still to this day the longest game ever. Over 7 hours of college baseball. We were there for the whole thing. We couldn't leave because I kept wanting to be like, should we go? Dude, let's go walk back to the apartment, take a couple shots and come back. And I was like,
but you can't. Never knew. You can't in a baseball game. Yeah. You're just stuck there.
It was utterly ridiculous. People were just tired, but also fascinated at the same time. And somehow so I think the last run was scored in, actually, I might even 25 innings. I jotted it down. Yeah, May 30th, 2009. So Texas won 3-2 in the 25th inning. The most fascinating part is that the relief pitcher that came in the 7th inning, his name is Austin Wood. He pitched until the 19th inning without allowing a hit. He pitched 12 innings of no-hit ball.
Yes, and it just gets lost in the mix because baseball.
Yeah. But the Texans ended up winning. It was great. And still this day I'll check it like once a year to be like, was that still the longest baseball game? And sure enough, I was there.
Now, how many people are at that game? Give me a guess.
I'm trying to think, because Texas has a big baseball program. Mm-hmm. Texas is big in baseball. Texas kids grow up with a flat brim hat, a lot of puka shell necklaces and crosses.
So wait, Texas stuck in like the year 2003?
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah.
Weird.
Everybody's like, yeah, you get like that. I thought
that was Canada.
Puck of chew in your pocket at age 12.
Good for them.
But yeah, it's big there. So I would say there was probably, I bet you can fit like 10,000 people in that baseball stadium.
Damn. Okay.
No, that might be
because Falcon Park. So Falcon Park, I think, is like Falcon Park. For those of that don't know, is Auburn's single A short season, basically the lowest level of professional baseball. Actually, it's something else now because we got to take away.
It's not even now. Yeah. Now it's like summer league for college players.
Right, exactly, like the Savannah Bananas. But I think Falcon Park holds 2,700, 2,800.
Yeah, so it's definitely bigger than that.
Okay.
Maybe say like 5,000, 6,000. Okay. But it's like the spot where Texas, they take baseball seriously, football seriously, but people have like campers and buses on the outfield, and they like raise it up so people stand outside in the outfield, get into it.
Texas prides themselves on a lot of high school sporting and collegiate sporting, so they can ignore how shitty of other opinions they have on stuff. So good for Texas. I'm glad that they support their athletics, but they're pretty shitty in a lot of other ways.
So the liquor wine store that I managed was in the rich part of town. It's called Westlake. And it was like right across from the middle school and near the high school. So Westlake High School is like, I think they're on like a 5-year winning streak or something like that. Insane. But it's where Drew Brees went, Nick Foles. Like they have
so
they fields and field houses.
So they import, like kids go there on purpose to be groomed for college.
It's like real Friday Night Lights stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have stadiums and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, in terms of like the $1 million operation, like it's a big deal. And like they cover it in Texas. Like Friday night, there's like a Friday night football, like local ESPN.
Holy crap! I just have another thing to talk about for First Time Future Elder.
Yes. Now I should think of one too.
Okay.
Go for it.
We are living for the first time. We are seeing the future of SU basketball without old man Jim Boeheim.
I know. It's big news around here.
It is. In Central New York, I bet time stopped at Wegmans. I think like all the registers shut down and there was like a glitch in the matrix. So for, again, people that don't know, Jim Boeheim is the head coach of SU basketball. For
almost 50 years.
47 years. So most people I know from home just don't know a world without Jim Boeheim. Like now there was a lot of love for Jim Boeheim. He brought, he took the team to a national championship in the 80s, in the 90s, and then won one 20 years ago, in 2023 or 2003. So 20 years ago with Carmelo Anthony and Jerry McNamara and Craig Forth. But he's a piece of shit. If you ever see him interact with if you see him interact with the
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
So a lot of people love him. I think he's a pile of trash. If you ever see him interact with the media, he is a crabby old sack of shit guy who's rude to every person in the media, hates like answering questions, gives snide remarks, and even in his end days, literally the day before the school announced that they were not renewing him as head coach, he's just like, I gave you guys my retirement speech yesterday and no one even noticed. And they go, oh, so are you retiring? He goes, I don't know. They're like, well, what do you mean you don't know? He goes, it's not up to me. Ask the school. And it's just like, God, fuck you, dude. Like,
he can never be cooperative.
He's just such a curmudgeon. But it's also like good, walk away. But it's, Syracuse, upstate New York, is a hard sell to kids to come play for basketball. Like, that's a hard sell to get kids to go up to upstate New York. It's not that Syracuse is a bad school or that they have a bad program. It's just hard to sell kids, be like, what's fun up here? Winners. Like, you know what? Yeah. Sub-zero weather, 100 inches of snow every season. Like, that's a good time. And kids, like, you can't recruit kids from the South or even, so like usually that we get Canada, we get Niagara Falls, Pennsylvania, maybe downstate New York.
Yeah, what is the pitch for Syracuse?
But it's tough.
Just the mall, Destiny USA. Is that what are they?
Yeah,
what do pitch?
Exactly. How do you pitch Syracuse?
The city.
We used to have Carrier air conditioning. They're like, what? Why would I care if you still had it? They're like, yeah, but we don't. We lost that too. So like, there's no pitch for Syracuse. Hey, you like Finger Lakes? Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question. Well, we got like 12 of them.
Yeah. Do you like all the biggest restaurant chains? We've got them in spades. Yep. Do you like Applebee's? So then what's going to be your approach to old guying?
Okay.
Because the curmudgeon is a fine angle, because I think you get away with it. It's easily excused. You just get old and you just hate everybody and you're just like, he's just old. It's just grandpa,
if you if you did an experiment like the dentist did with your teeth without your knowledge or consent, if you did an experiment where you placed an 80-year-old man and a 30-year-old man and gave them the exact same lines and reactions to everything around them, the old guy would get away with it and the young guy would probably be seen as the biggest pile of shit in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be
Well, I think that's why it's fun. Like, wouldn't it also be fun to like enjoy being old? Like, I kind of hope I end up being I want to be Uncle Matt forever. Like just when I'm 80 years old, just still seem like I'm enjoying something at least, even if I'm pretending.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz like I don't know, isn't Jim Boeheim supposed to love basketball and like coaching, and doesn't it seem like he catches a whiff of enjoyment
It
out of
literally
it?
seems like someone is forcing him to coach every year at gunpoint.
Yeah. Cuz it's fun to be like, I mean, when I was thinking about this, so future first time elder, I think we're caught in a unique position right now. As middle-aged white guys, we
Oh
are
boy.
in a very unique
Oh boy.
position. Well, approaching 40, because I still think like you can still catch myself on days where I'm like, God, I feel fucking old. Like I can't do anything new again. Like my life's already out there. I can't do anything new. And then I see like my dad, who's in his 60s, still doing new things or trying new things or still trying to learn things. And I'm like, God, I'm still like, I still got to catch up to him. Oh, there's still more life to lead,
Yeah.
And then I look, especially like at work, like 18-year-olds or whatever, who like think they have to make every decision about their life right now, like what their major, like a lot of kids planning college or coming back and being like, I think I'm going to be an anesthesiologist. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
don't, you want to be like, don't feel the pressure to do that. Like I wish you went to college when you were 30
Hell
and you just
yeah.
worked for a while. You maybe found some things you're interested
I
in.
probably would have done it in 4
It's
years.
like, okay, I know more about myself. Yeah.
Like, dude, 100%. But like, yeah, I think about it and yeah, dude, like we're talking about what we want to do for the rest of our lives when we're like 16. And we have guidance counselors being like, you better fucking figure this out, kid. You better
Yeah.
figure this out.
No, that's the wrong
Right.
school
And
for
it's
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. I know. Right. Talk about the advice generally from guidance counselors. Fuck you. You have no idea. You went to a school, maybe another one for your master's. Like, who's this clown that everyone says is validated to tell me where to go, how to do it, everything like that? Fuck that.
You're definitely going to want to get 100K in debt.
I know.
That's Make sure you get that Russian studies degree. And I did.
I did.
Look how I use it. It's another 2-minute story on a podcast.
Yep. What do we know about Matt's Russian studies degrees? He shit his pants in Russia once.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's called a callback.
But it's like you can still learn things. So that's where like with that first time elder, future, whatever it means is I think the older you get, I feel like you kind of have to make yourself do things new where it's more like purposeful. Because when you're younger, you just do whatever. Because everything's new, honestly, at that point. You're in your 20s, going to parties, meeting new people, traveling, trying new things. It just comes with the territory.
Yes.
But now it's like you purposely have to do it to get yourself out of the daily habit. And there's days I just go. I mean, this wasn't a therapy thing once, but it was like, go a different way home. I mean, it's as simple as that. Or like take a ride around the block, walk somewhere differently. Like you have to like make your brain do things differently, try new things. Like it's small things like that that just change your routine and can get you comfortable being like, okay, now I did this little thing different. Maybe I do this other thing different. So I don't know what it's going to be. I'm definitely not going to do something crisisy like have a podcast with a friend I haven't talked to.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not going to be that bad.
Oh God, there's the hyperventilating again.
Although it has made me, now I'm like just doing this now makes me, because I'm not even like in contact with college friends even, and I'm like, I need to reach out to these people. Like I'm like really focusing on this. Like, cool, I'm doing so good. I'm reaching out to one person weekly. I nailed it.
Yeah,
but it's like maybe I should reach out to give that a try.
Now, tell me this: is that since you are back in Auburn and obviously had been out of Auburn for 20 years essentially, have you bumped into anyone in real life, or just connected and you like whatever, have you bumped into anyone and been like, all right, yeah, let's hang out? And have you made any connections with someone that you didn't have a strong connection with growing up, but you're like, hey, I know who you are, you know who I am, we're both bored, do you want to hang out?
I would say so. Our buddy Mark, I've hung
Mhm.
out with a few times. So he's like, he's been around town for a while, and he works the bowling alleys. He's like, he does a lot of like local kind of events, and like sticks around with some, you know, different parties, different groups, whatever he's
Mhm.
into. But no, I mean, honestly, the people I've known the most are just from work. But I would say work doesn't have a great culture of hangout
No.
for whatever reason. I
Really?
mean, I would be into
Wegmans?
it, but it's like I'm also like, there's not a lot of people my age either that aren't married or have kids. So that's like the challenging part of it too. I mean, ultimately, I'm here more for like, I would say more the family
Mhm.
aspect. I mean, I don't know how long I'll be here, but it's like get some kind of like, I describe it as like critical family time in a way. Like try to get some experiences in, maybe just kind of build up myself, get some new experiences, reconnect, for whatever my next step is. So I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, I would say to answer your question, no, I'm probably not ultimately creating new relationships, and that's a combination of me being bad at it, two, not prioritizing it, but three, like I don't know, like the scene here, like it's built. There's not like social clubs that play softball or something like that anymore. Or I even checked in on like men's hockey, like beer league hockey, and they don't even do it in town here anymore.
Really?
Like something I would be interested in.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to go to the bar every night, the dive bar, and try to
Yeah,
meet people? It's
that's
like I
in
don't
Auburn.
really.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. That's risky business. It's one thing to go out to the bars for the purpose of having some drinks or going to the bars with friends. Going to the bars to hope to engage with new humans, that's actually a bad idea. Like that's a recipe for disaster.
and I mean, I've been out a couple times. Like I'll go to like a bar here and there once every couple of months. Just I mean, because it's fun. It's still fun to do it.
Sure.
I love the single serving friendship, or the that one conversation with no stakes. It's fun to have.
Okay.
But then you kind of see the same people
Yeah,
going
you
to
only
every
can do that a
place.
couple times.
Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, I'll let you know next time we're going out." And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
"I
don't.
don't know. I don't want to do
Yeah,
this
no.
again."
Oh yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Honestly, I'd
mean,
rather like take in like I got a kayak here. I like to go
okay.
kayaking. Did some fishing on it last year. Like my goal this summer is to nail maybe a couple more of the nail.
I was gonna say, where is this
Uh,
going? Kayaking to
my
nail?
summer goals is just nail, bro.
Man,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
get my
nailing.
kayak and meet chicks.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Just to nail a couple more of the Finger Lakes. Yeah, nailing and fingering all summer. I'm gonna t-shirt that.
That one is not going to
Yeah,
be
I don't know.
that one is not going to be a strangely familiar T-shirt. I will not put my stamp on that. I do not endorse nailing and fingering.
got nailed in the fingers,
Oh,
fingered in the nails.
what happened to coffee and ketchup in StrageFam?
Yeah. But yeah, part of it also was like the first year I would say is culture shock. Like I've studied abroad, we know that, and it felt like a study abroad experiment coming
This
back,
does.
and like being in a small town where a lot of the things are the same. Like, and I mean the same as in like I drive by like my old house or something, and the porches are the same, and they're like falling apart or something like that. Where like literally nothing's changed for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the same, like phase drugstore painting is on a wall, or the same signs are everywhere, and it's like, how has nothing moved for 20 years? It's kind of an awkward thing to go through. So it was like kind of the culture shock of that, coming from like a city that the skyline changes like by the month, or like new
Yeah.
restaurants, new cafes, new bars are opening all the time, and there's like a music scene, and there's new bands, and you have something to do every night, to like a
Yeah.
spot where it's focused on family.
You
It
don't
is
have
like
to
that's what
evolve
people
because
do.
literally where
Yeah.
you are is constantly evolving. So like, yeah, you're like,
Mhm.
you're forced into trying new things only because new things are just constantly around you. Whereas where you are now, it's like, nope, you better make some really hard, you have to put in all of the effort because
So
the environment's not changing.
yeah. So it's trying to, but also like, I don't want to let myself get like into this whirlwind of like getting consumed by what the negatives are of it, but
Sure.
maybe see like what the positive is, which is like there's a tremendous focus on family and, you know, a lot of hard work. And like there is you can appreciate consistency and things like that and making sure people know what's important to them. And I think that there is that here. And maybe I didn't maybe have that for a long time. If you go day to day, you don't think about the long term or what's really important to you, maybe in a way. Or I could say that for myself.
Yeah.
So being exposed to that now and getting through the culture shock of that, the reverse culture shock of being back home, it just again, it's trying something for the first time, something new, but like trying to appreciate something that maybe on paper I wouldn't
Yeah.
have. So like, what
Right.
can
So
I now
maybe
that I've been here? What can I take from this that's going to make me a better person, or make me have better relationships, or help me enjoy life as I
I
move
can
forward?
tell you, and I can verify that like living a fast paced life in that you're constantly changing your environment and stuff like that. Um, it is enjoyable and it's not without its positives, but it is also, you find out that you're just basically looking for distractions from yourself, from your own head and stuff like that. So in Auburn, maybe that's not the distractions. And like you said, people focus on family. And it's more of focusing on the people and less on the experiences. And so the experiences aren't that big of a priority because you just make with what you got. So yeah, I mean, there's positive spins on that. I mean, um, my brother lives next door to my parents with his wife and kids, and he had left Auburn to live in Tennessee for a very uh, brief time in 2000. Oh, 2000, 2002. I honestly
Really?
have no idea. Yeah, he was in Tennessee for for a little while, and came back. And yeah, I mean, he's just, uh, he's done it that way. My other brother went to college in Buffalo and then moved back to Syracuse. So not obviously far from Auburn, but lives in Syracuse suburbs and has been there the entire time. Meanwhile, in all of that time, I went to college. I came back. I went to Buffalo. In Buffalo, I would move from apartment to apartment because I like to change the scenery. I moved to North Carolina. I did time there. I'm in New Jersey. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
like I've lived in 3 different places in New Jersey. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I like movement, but at some point, I always wonder if I'm just trying to surround myself with distractions so that flashy lights and shiny things just might make life more interesting for
Or
me.
just new.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're creating new things.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying more and more every day to try to balance that stuff. Like, so,
Yes, there must be a healthy balance
there's
to it.
gotta be, man.
I mean, ultimately, I think I'm a city boy. I like the amenity. I mean, I do miss like, but I have to be more purposeful of that too. Like, I miss having like the ability to go to shows or see things, or you know, go into a pinball arcade,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
checking out a new taco spot. I mean, not upstate New York, not for the tacos, that's for sure, or the barbecue, or all that stuff that I kind of miss. But doesn't mean I can't travel. Still check out new things. I would say I'm like maybe I am in like 40-year-old college now.
Okay.
Like I'm on my study abroad as a
Okay.
40-year-old. Well, not yet. I'm still a 30 something, still a hot young 30 something, but I'm trying to take from this experience for sure. Um, I do appreciate that you made a list of things for us to talk about because I think on the last, it's been so easy to like back and
Mm-hmm.
forth that I'm wondering if we're even catching up. I think we've done a good job of catching up today. I am curious about a couple of things you've written here, like run-ins with the police, arrests, fake ID history. Is that all one story? Did you have?
Okay. You want to just spitballing? Okay.
I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know why you led with that under topics. Run-ins with police, arrests. Let's find out more about each
Okay.
other. And that definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm like, all right, let's talk about stuff that happened after the high school. We're trying to fill in these blanks.
Yeah.
All right, so I will tell you the run-in, the most significant run-in I had with law enforcement. So I want to say, oh boy, and honestly, the years all blend together. This is probably 2006, something. I don't know. We'll say 2006, 2007, maybe later. I honestly don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
No, it had been after that. Anyway, I'm at a local watering hole in my college town, and it's this like cool, like you go down these stairs from the street side, and it's like a little real like dive bar underground, if you will, because you have to go downstairs to get to it. So if there's a fire, like everyone's fucked. Definitely not up to fire code, but I'm not sure Oswego, New York even bothers with fire codes anymore. So anyway, something we were drinking and enjoying some cocktails, and there's like this like lifesaver, like the buoy, like lifesaver that you'd toss. It's on the wall, and someone's like, someone else like took it off the wall, and they're like, yo, Wody, you won't take this. I'm like, why wouldn't I? I just threw it under my hoodie. It's a regular size.
You won't take this?
Like it was something to that nature. Yeah.
Did you wear it under your hoodie?
So I put it under my hoodie, and I'm like, all right, we'll just leave. And so left. We went to another bar across the water, like across the way. So I'm walking probably about 1-2 of a mile down the street to the hotel bar, Steamers, a little bit classier joint. So go sit up at the bar, and obviously I'm not going to sit there with a buoy under me. It's very uncomfortable. So I just take it out, pridefully sit it down next to me, and we're talking about it, me and some friends. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So before I go to the bathroom, we're talking, and the bartender's being a little weird at the bar. And so I don't know, I shrug it off, no big deal. Maybe I'm saying something that's upsetting, or I don't know. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm taking a poops, and in the stall, and then
dude, public bar poop. Hell yeah.
My buddy Bob's in there, and he like is messing with me, and I'm like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he leaves. I don't understand that he's leaving, but as he's leaving, a police officer comes in to the bathroom, and I think it's still Bob, and the police officer just like knocks on the door. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And he's like,
what in the hell is going on here?
He's like, Oswego PD. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I know I'm drunk, but I'm like, aren't I like in a toilet?
Occupied.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, one sec. So I finish. I
just took an upper decker.
I go out to the lobby, and they're like, yeah, you took this, and it's the buoy. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you took this from the Gaslight, didn't you? And I'm like, dude, I have no sobriety left in me to come up with that. So I go, yeah. I go, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait. And then like, they're like, all right, come out with us. And they put me in the back.
Come out with your
They
pants
put me
up.
out. They put me in the back of the cop car. And I'm like, oh my God. They're like, this is stolen property. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to be like, no, I came with that. And so I think the other bartender heard us talking about it and like called the cops on us, the guy that was giving me the stink eye. So my buddy Bob and his girlfriend, now wife, Beth, are checking on me. So they're standing outside of the cop car in front of the bar. And I'm just sitting in the back of the cop car. And then I give them my ID and stuff. They run it. You know, they obviously see that I have no priors or anything. And then they're like, we're probably just going to come, bring you down to the station. They can come pick you up there and stuff. And I'm like, all right. So obviously you're kind of sobering up in the back of the cop car. It's very uncomfortable for those that don't know. It was literally like a plastic bench in the back, like no cushions. I'm like, did you build a car and then purposely put in uncomfortable bench seat in the back? Like, is that how you really work on criminals, is put a very uncomfortable seat in the back? And you're like, man, I got to start changing my life around. Why? Because this is going to do numbers on my back. So like, he has me in the car and he's just the cop's talking to me and he's like, all right, you have no priors or anything like that. He's like, what do you, he's like, why'd you take that? And I'm like, I don't know, it was a buoy and someone offered it to me and so I just took it. I'm like, I've been drinking, I don't know what to, I have nothing to tell you. Like, you're not gonna find out, like,
to fit in,
right?
bitch.
I'm like, you're not gonna find out this amazing story from me, sir. I'm like, I just took it because I'm drunk and it was something on a wall. I don't know what to tell you. And so he goes, all right, if you leave here, he goes, do you know what I expect you to do? And I'm like, I'll take it back to the bar and give it back. He goes, you think I'm going to give this to you after I just he's like, do you think I'm giving this back to you? And I'm like, I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. I'm like,
do you want me to smoke the whole
right? I'm like,
I don't know.
So I'm like, this is a horrible game and I'm losing bad. And he's like, I'm going to give it back to them. He's like, and they'll decide if they want to press charges or not. So we have your information and you'll find out in the next few weeks if they're going to be willing to press charges. So, dude,
that's almost worse than like, you might as well just get arrested.
I get let go. But for literally like a month, I'm like checking my mail, my voicemails. I'm like, how do am I eventually getting in trouble? I don't know what any of this means. So I was just for literally at least a month. I'm like, I wonder if today's the day that I somehow get arrested by like the Oswego PD.
Does this go on my permanent record?
So, like, you know what? I've never been involved in much shit. As far as police go, certainly had run in with campus cops, but I'll be honest with you, the Oswego campus police were always fantastically fair. And even Oswego PD back when I was in college, it like they broke up parties, but you rarely saw people get arrested. Like you had to be a piece of shit to really get arrested. They'd find weed on kids like at like when we would hold concerts, we'd pat people down, find weed. They would literally just take the weed and be like, all right, you're good. Like go on. Like they weren't there to literally just bust people. It was just to like try to keep ordinance, like make sure people are safe. Right, honestly, they didn't care about underage intoxication or anything like that. It was more of, well, you can't have 30 kids crammed into one dorm, slugging bottles of liquor. Like, yeah, like you gotta try to act like what you're doing is wrong so that you cover it up a bit. But that's all they were doing. So, it was.
It's kind of like work stuff, manager stuff, where you're like, I have to tell you this, right? I have to tell you can't like skateboard on the supply carts, right? I just have to,
The worst is when people like keep keep pushing you to like eventually do something. Like, why are you doing this? You're doing this. Stop doing this to me to make you do this. Yeah. So like, but yeah, I mean, I've never been arrested. Nothing like that. So, but that was my one run in because I'm a bad boy. People like bad boys, and that's my street cred. Ooh, that's my street cred.
So bad. Yeah, I've never been arrested. Probably could have been. I mean, ultimately, I'm sure we both have enough stories like that where it's like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have been driving, or I probably said something stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm a fantastic instigator. Like, you don't always want me around your group of friends because I like to get mouthy with people in public. If I've had some drink, I would never fight. I'd
never raise a fist, but I will. I would love for friends of mine to fight on my behalf.
I like to either hurt people with words or make them go, "What? What? I don't even know what that means." Actually, in Russia, another Russia story. I was dating this girl in my program at the time. We all had our different home stays, so I had to get on the metro to go see her. And I was wearing headphones and everything. And I started going down this escalator into the subway, and they're notoriously long, like huge escalators, like 300 yards because like Stalin had these built and he was really paranoid about World War II and he would use them to hide. So you'd want to be way under the ground. So about like 20 yards down, like the subway police are calling me over. I'm like, what? Like, do I want to turn around? So I did. And I comically went up the down escalator to catch up to it. But I had just heard stories of like all the police there, much like the military dude.
Yeah.
They're all young, like 18, 19 years old or something like that. They bring me into the police station in the metro. And there's like a little jail cell there. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on? With no reason other than I think they would like pull people out. Like I had a hat on. I sort of have like scruffy beard thing, like long hair. And like if you have long hair and scruffy anything, they think you might be like Chechen or something like that from Chechnya. And it's like the height of like the Chechen Russian wars and everything. And they're like, oh, we're going to bring you in, question you. I went in there. I was like, I don't have my visa with me. Like, I just have like some cash, some rubles. I was like, am I gonna have to bribe these guys?
How does
like,
this
I
work?
go in there. There's like 5 of these dudes and a jail cell. Nobody's gonna know that I'm here. They could just put me in here forever and nobody will ever know. It's not like they're gonna be like, oh, call your attorney. Like, it's like this is it. And the only thing I remember was that like my Russian teacher in New York was like, if police ever come, like the best thing you do is just play dumb. Which I advise to everybody in a lot of situations. Just play dumb. Act like you don't know what's going on.
Okay.
And I did. I was like, I didn't speak any Russian. Or I did. I mean, I didn't use it. I just was English. Like, I'm a tourist. Like, I don't know what you're saying. And they were all laughing at me. And I was like, shit, I'm going to end up in this thing. Because I don't have any documents. But finally, like, after a few minutes, they were just like, just go ahead. They said it in Russian. I was like, thank you. Spasiba. I was like, I get it, bitch. Later.
So it's just to fuck with you?
I was like, there was a... I don't know. It could have been.
Yes, that's the best. There's no
Maybe
closure to this story.
I don't know. Like there was no paperwork. They just let me go. Like I don't know if they really thought I was a threat, or if they were like, this kid looks. Maybe they had seen me before. But in my head, I was like, because I was just reading a book, an autobiography of this guy who had traveled there and didn't have his visa with him and had to go to jail for like a long time until like his program or whatever could get him out. I was like, this is it. I'm going to end up here. Nobody's going to know. I'm going to be in Russian jail forever. The gulag, if you will. But no, I got out of it very happily. But it was scary at the moment.
I forgot about Chechnya until you said that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in the 90s, 99 bombings. A lot of conspiracy theories about Russians bombing themselves in apartments to go to war. I mean, they wouldn't do that.
We had a fraternity, but my closest thing was actually, you know what? No, this is a kind of a... Something is that remember our high school had a foreign exchange student program with kids from Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I had a kid, my buddy Alex that was in our fraternity was from Georgia as well. So I had a kid from our fraternity in Georgia and he would tell us like some weird stories about him growing up. We're like, yo, that's a wild place, man. Like,
yeah, all the like the former Soviet Union states that Russia didn't really want to give up. That's fun. Great life there.
It sounds like a blast.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's do a little dice.
Do the dice.
We're over an hour already.
For next time.
I know the people want more.
They always do.
Leave them wanting.
They always do.
Always
Never good enough for you people.
And the conversation dice, number 1. Daily.
What is it?
Daily.
Okay.
As in once per day.
Slow down.
Or every day. I don't know. Discuss. No, we already had that one.
What?
Daily museum. That's fun.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a different one. Cool. It's not something about time.
I know, right?
Or I guess it is. It captures time, didn't it? Isn't it? And superpower. Daily museum superpower. This is fun. I like this canvas.
Okay.
I like this space to play.
I like to play. Ding.
Daily museum superpower.
Yeah.
Is there a superhero museum? And
you absolutely could have
it in reality.
You could have a superhero museum. How amazing would it be? Wow. Okay. So if you took people that were like so engaged in the comic book world and you actually set up as if there was a universe where you could set up a museum from the comic book situations that happened over like the last 100 years and just have like fake artifacts from big events that happen in comics, that'd be an awesome place. And I would absolutely pay my hard-earned money to go to that museum, even though it's not real.
Like the Thomas and Martha Wayne Museum of Human
Yeah, there you go.
Achievement. Human and otherwise human achievement, whatever. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Speaking of, number one, happy belated Mario Day.
Yes.
But also there's a Mario space now. Is it in California? Like they made Nintendo World or Super Nintendo World, where you can go and wear bracelets and hit.
Is it Disneyland? Is Disney?
Do all these,
I thought Disney. I think
Disney World.
I think Disneyland.
Disneyland's in.
Yeah, that's in California.
I don't know if it's all part of it. It must be. I don't know. Yeah. But we should go there,
dude. I played Mario Party last night because of it.
What if that's where we meet? Be like, hey, you could drive a few hours, we can meet up, or we could both fly to California and go to Mario World
to have a live, do the broadcast live on Twitch.
Yeah,
stream it. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We got big plans coming up for episode 10 in a few weeks. So
we do
big plans.
At that point, I will be no longer 30-something.
It's true. It's true.
So I will have to reckon with that.
I will be a young spry man in his 30s.
A spry, yeah, so spry.
Spry.
Mm-hmm. Good shit.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate y'all who keep checking in with us.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of posts going on. So keep commenting. We are now available on so many things, and we now have a Facebook presence that people are getting along with. So please continue to share. Drop any questions or comments you have, things you'd like to talk about.
Yes, questions. I can. You know what? I think on the Spotify version of this, I can put in a poll or a question.
Nice.
Maybe we could try one for this app.
Sure, we can do that.
What do we want to ask the people? Or maybe a simple poll.
A poll, right? Which host do you like better, and which host would you like to replace with someone else? Yes. Strangely Familiar will live on well beyond us two.
We'll see what. They will find out our demographic.
Yes.
How many people that have been arrested. All right, I'll put that.
Yes, let's find out our key demographics so we can start bending the next episode towards you. Yeah.
All right.
Audio.
Turd nuggets. Oh, you can't cut off on turd nuggets.
Oh no, we'll never know. Adios, what?
Audio turd nuggets.
There it is.
Start off the beginning of the song. How about that?
Ooh. I like our outro as an intro. Slap of the bass.
In my house I have more TVs.
Dab out.
And people